Hi, this is Yaffi Lvova, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and owner of Baby Bloom Nutrition. Welcome to Nap Time Nutrition. Today I'm doing Ditching the Guilt, Part 2. Okay, Part 2. I'm trying to be funny already. Okay, so I did a segment on ditching the guilt a while ago, and it didn't have as much practical advice as I wanted. I'm going to link to it in the comments, so you can check that out as well. But I really wanted to cover that again with a little bit more in depth, a little bit more practical advice for you. So motherhood is rife with guilt, which is why my tagline is more confidence, less mom guilt. And I talk about mom guilt versus dad guilt in the other segment. So I'm not going to touch on that here. You can go back and watch that one. So how can you ditch the guilt? There's guilt. No matter what you do, there's guilt. You're right, you're wrong, no matter what you choose. So how can you just not feel that guilt? So the first thing is communicating feelings and needs. Okay, sometimes this is really difficult because you don't know what your needs are from one moment to the next. But if you can really sit down and think, what do I need in this moment and how can I get it to happen? Someone should be around to help you with that. Your partner, your community, your next door neighbor, your parents. Hopefully you do have some kind of support system. And don't be afraid to ask. People want to help you. They just also don't know what you need. So if you can say, hey, I really need a snack. Okay, great. How can I make that happen? Either someone else holds the baby and you prepare the snack, or someone else prepares a snack and you hold the baby, or put the baby down. So there are different ways to go about it. So just really think about what your needs are and how you can have someone help you meet those, or how you can meet them. Use your partner, your friends, your community. And it's important to pick a safe person you can talk to, someone you can express the full weight of your thoughts. Sometimes we feel guilty about the thoughts that we have. And it's important that you have someone safe you can call and say, hey, I'm really having a rough time right now. These are the thoughts I'm having, so that they can help you work through that, talk through it. Sometimes you just need someone to listen, and you can tell them, I'm just venting right now. I just really need you to listen and not interrupt me. And so you pick someone who can obviously listen to that and understand it and move forward with you in that, with that intention. Okay, identify your triggers. This is a big thing. I wish I had known my triggers when my twins were born. And my personal triggers are the laundry and the dishes. I could not care less what my car looks like from moment to moment. Yeah, I'll get to the point where I'll clean it out, but a mess in my car is not anxiety provoking in me the way the dishes and the laundry are. So something else will be a trigger for you. And it's important that you look at what's going on in your house and think, what is making me crazy and how can I fix it? And you focus on that and let the other stuff kind of go by the wayside. Okay, so let's talk about exactly what those could be. The dishes, the laundry, the car, fancy, perfect meals. Okay, I talked about this quite a bit in the other segment, but your meals do not have to be fancy right now. They do not have to be perfect. They need to be functional, because if your ideal meal that you are trying to make is too complicated, has too many steps, has too many ingredients, requires you to go to 3 different stores, it's not going to happen. So you have to think about what's realistic. Okay, Dr. Prager's fish fillets, Whole Foods, out of the freezer. Okay, this is a great option. Some of the veggie burgers that are out there, for example, there are great options that are frozen and you can buy them and there is no guilt associated with it. And by the way, if you're craving some fast food, go get it. That's your body saying, give me calories. It is such an important time right now. You have an increased need for nutrition and a substantially decreased way to meet your nutrition needs. And if you're breastfeeding, your needs are even higher and your baby needs that too. So it's just so important that you don't skip a meal because it's not perfect, that you eat. Something you can do, if someone comes to you and says, how can I help? Reorganize my fridge so I can see the snacks, so that they're not buried in the back. So when you open your fridge, the first thing you see is something you can grab and eat. Yogurt smoothies, for example, hard-boiled eggs. I've got a lot of these different ideas. I can post my breastfeeding snack basket idea in the comments as well. So It's really important to feed yourself. Have a snack station, much like you have a diaper station, so that you have a visual reminder that you need to put something in your mouth to fuel your body to take care of your child, whether that's directly through breastfeeding or whether that's indirectly, as in you need to eat something so you can stay on your feet, so you can care for yourself and your child. It's really important. Also, meal or outfit prep. Yeah, I say outfit prep because that's my thing. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You can don't focus so much on what you're wearing these days unless that's your trigger. If your trigger is feeling sloppy and if you don't dress nicely, you feel awful, then dress nicely. And if that's not your trigger, don't worry so much about it. The whole yoga pant thing really. I did a segment with Lauren North of Through the Closet Door on changing needs fashion wise during pregnancy and beyond. And we talked about that there is a reason so many women are in yoga pants, and it's not because they've lost track of who they are or what their needs are or what they look like. It's because yoga pants are forgiving. They match everything. You can get down on the floor and play with your child, or you can do whatever you need, you can do. And that outfit, the yoga pants and graphic tee, matches your needs. There's a reason for it. If it works for you, go for it. And if that doesn't work for you and you need to look nicer, then put that extra effort in there. Maybe the dishes are not bothering you and you can take that effort and put it towards your clothes. It's whatever is your trigger. Identify what makes you feel better or what makes you feel awful, and really focus on that in order to make it better. So a big thing that I said in the other segment, Ditching the Guilt, part 1, is what works in this moment works in this moment. And it's fine, because sometimes we need to live moment to moment when we're dealing with new babies, when we're dealing as new mommies. We need to live moment to moment, and something that does work works. Something that gives you a shower works. Something that lets you go to the bathroom in peace works. So don't worry too much about the details involved. As long as safety and medical needs are taken into account, then do what works for you, because what works for you doesn't necessarily work for someone else. And what works for someone else won't necessarily work for you. So there's no reason to feel guilt that you're doing something differently than someone else. You choose what works with your family, that falls within your values and meets your needs. And that's how you move forward. So when it's not working, what about when it's not working? There are certain things that are supposed to work. They're supposed to work. Okay, big one. And this is emotional trigger, heads up, breastfeeding. Yes, in a perfect world, you're going to have this baby vaginally and everything's going to be fine. And the baby takes to the breast right away. But in the reality, we have tongue tie and lip tie. I did a whole segment on that. We have trouble breastfeeding. We have wounds. We have improper latch. We have problems with hydration, and the baby's not growing enough, or you think they're growing too much. And all of these make us second guess our path. But the truth is, we don't need to put so much pressure on it. That pressure in and of itself is going to hurt the quality and the quantity of your breast milk. So the best thing to do is to relax about it. If there's a problem with growth that your pediatrician has identified and has expressed to you, then work with a lactation consultant. If you're at all uncomfortable with the active breastfeeding, you feel bad throughout your body, some people get the shakes, or some people have reactions to breastfeeding. Talk to a lactation consultant, IBCLC, about that, because they can help you work through it or find a way around it or help you toward a different path. So what are these different paths? Formula does exist for a reason. And as much as I'm a breastfeeding advocate, there's this whole argument about breast is best versus fed is best. There are two people who matter, you and your baby. And that's what it comes down to. That's all it comes down to. If you are going crazy trying to breastfeed and it's just not working, it's okay to go to formula. It's okay. If you really want to continue breastfeeding, then seek help from the appropriate professional, which is an IBCLC, and you can continue in that way. And sometimes you're going to have a hybrid situation where you're breastfeeding, but you're also supplementing. And you know what? I did it. I did that. Yeah, my twins had some formula. And guess what? It's okay, because I needed to do what was right for me and what was right for them and their growth and development. And that's what it comes down to. Sleeping arrangements. This is another big one, the whole co-sleeping versus not co-sleeping. I don't co-sleep because I can't sleep that way. That's not to say that that doesn't work for you. Maybe that works great for you. Maybe you sleep a lot better co-sleeping. And that's fine because we're all different. You want to make sure to do it safely. There are some awesome options out there. There's the DockATot. There are these side half crib things that you can pull up to your bed. And I did that because as long as I can have my own space, I'm cool. But there are a lot of different safe ways to co-sleep if that's something that you want to do. You want to look that up though. I'll provide a link for safe co-sleeping. You just want to make sure everyone's safe. And a fantastic IBCLC, Desiree Allison from Arizona Breastfeeding Center, told me when I had my twins, as far as sleeping arrangements, wherever everyone gets the most sleep is where you're meant to sleep. Okay, so I figured it out. The third child's the charm, right? So I figured it out. I figured out what worked for me, what works for my family, and that's what we did. And I don't need to listen to anyone else and their opinions because as long as what we're doing is safe, then it's fine, okay? Your child sleeping in your room is not going to be sleeping in your room when they're 18, all right? Showering. It's really important to shower, okay? But you don't have to shower every day unless, well, some kids make you shower every day. Okay, fine. But take the baby in the shower with you. You can have, there are seats that they make to go in the shower. You want to make sure this is age appropriate. I started this when my little guy could sit up on his own. But before that, I had the bouncy seat in the shower, next to the shower, on the floor of the bathroom next to the shower. You have to be prepared that the child might fall asleep. You may want to keep the door open if it gets really hot and steamy because maybe they're going to overheat. Depends on the weather, depends on your child, da-da-da-da-da. So it's important to take time to take care of yourself, and showering is part of that. So try to shower every other day or so. And you can do that by having the child in the bathroom with you. Leave the door open, have the child in the bouncy seat or whatever works for you. On the floor next to the shower where you can see the child, and that way it's safe and you're taking care of yourself. So that's important. Eating. You need to eat. You have increased nutrition needs and a very decreased way to meet them. I probably said that. Fine, I said it again. So it's very important to set reminders. Maybe you need to set a reminder on your phone. Maybe you need to have snack stations. I know I mentioned that one. You need a visual reminder. You need to have snacks with you at all times. Get used to it. If this is your first child, you are going to become a vending machine pretty soon. So bring snacks around for you now because you're going to have to remember to carry snacks pretty shortly anyway. Have snacks ready to grab. If someone comes over and says, I want to help, say, great, chop some carrot sticks for me. Make some hummus for me. Make some guacamole. Whatever it is, have stuff ready. Bathroom. Well, we have biological needs and we shouldn't ignore some, but they can be ignored and some cannot be ignored. And the bathroom is one of those. Okay, so just like I said with the shower, either put the baby down and go pee, put the baby down somewhere safe and go pee, or bring the bouncy seat into the bathroom and you get used to someone watching you in the bathroom because that's going to happen for quite a while. But you need to take care of yourself. As far as doctors, pick a doctor, and I'm talking about OB and I'm talking about pediatrician. Pick a doctor you feel comfortable with. Pick a doctor you can respect. It's funny, a lot of people have taken yoga, and sometimes you love a yoga class and someone else hates it. It's all about resonating with the instructor and the method of delivery and how quickly they speak or how much they speak. And the thing is that it's really similar with doctors. If you resonate, if you appreciate a relationship with one doctor, that might not work for someone else. But you need to find a doctor you can listen to and respect. Because if you don't like your doctor, you are not going to respect the advice that's given to you. And that could turn out to be dangerous. So it's very important, if you feel uncomfortable with your doctor, change to a different doctor in the practice or change entirely. But it's very, very important that you feel that you are being given advice that is specific to you and your family and your needs. And if you don't feel that you are getting that at your pediatrician's office, at your OB's office, at your urologist's office, whatever, change to find a doctor who better meets your needs, who better relates to you, someone you can respect. It's very important. Okay, so that was some practical advice. If you have any practical advice that you'd like to share with other moms that you think would be beneficial, please comment. I would love to hear what you're doing in order to make sure you're taking care of yourself and taking care of your child. And I will be right here next week, Nap Time Nutrition, 1 p.m. Arizona time, which is currently noon on the West Coast and 3 p.m. on the East Coast. But the rest of you change your clocks and we don't. So that'll change next week. If you're local, come to Toddler Test Kitchen at the Farm South Mountain. And exciting news, I'll be starting to offer Toddler Test Kitchen over the summer at Create, which is associated with the Arizona Science Center. I'm very excited about that. Dates and some of the registration links, the ones available, are up on my website at Baby Bloom Nutrition. Click on Toddler Test Kitchen and see what I'm talking about. Very excited to be doing that. And come next week for Nap Time Nutrition. You won't want to miss it.